lights out. Seems like he's living in the past. He's just another outcast.
Can I just... Let's do this. Let's pour a tea. And welcome to Talk with Yorke, Elsy Wameyo. We're pouring teas. You're about to spill the tea.
I'm about to spill this.
The spiritual tea.
Have we started?
Yeah, we've started.
We've started?
Yeah, we're on. That's what the vibe is. That's what the vibe is.
That whole time?
That whole time. Not like for like the last 5 minutes. That's it. Like 4 minutes.
You guys.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me just like, everyone's just, I feel exposed.
No, it's just, I won't start it. I'll usually start it when I usually just start filming whenever, and then I'll pick a time and I'll say, "Welcome to Talk with Yorke."
Oh, and then you started from work.
And then I'll cut it when I edit it later. So,
I was sweating.
all that crazy shit you were saying, like, you know, a few minutes ago, we won't put. And I'm just joking. You weren't saying anything
Please
crazy.
Don't.
You weren't saying anything crazy. Please.
I was sweating.
Please enjoy this tea.
Thank you so much.
Are you sweating? Do you want me to open the window?
No.
You're metaphorically sweating.
I was just metaphorically sweating. My sweat glands.
But I think that we're having an interesting convo that we can still go on about, like with social media and.
Yes.
Like, where's your place in social media? What is social media?
What is social media? No, do you know what? I actually studied media in uni, and I'm graduating with that.
Cool.
And
So you're doing it now?
I finished.
Are you finished? Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well done.
So for me, like media, it's not everything, but like in this world that we live in now, it's everything.
It's sort of everything.
Yeah. And everything is just, it can, like, I think media just can open a new world to anything and everything. And I think, obviously, as artists, we can create so much through it. But I think it's just like it's a means that anyone can use to bring something to life. But I mean, I love the power that it has. I think it's sometimes sad though that, I mean, okay, so there's like the bad side to it, obviously, but then...
Like anything though, there's always a yin-yang.
Exactly,
right?
But I think it's just one of those things that people only focus on the bad. Like money is known to be the root of evil.
It's just a bit of paper, dude. That's like getting angry at a rock.
It's a product that...
It's like, what do you do with it?
Yeah, it's just whatever you... I was reading a book and they put it so nicely. It was saying... It's like a hammer.
Yeah.
A hammer can be used to destroy something or to build something. So it's like, it's whatever that you speak it to be, you know? So I think media's that same thing where it's like, you can use it to create this lovely podcast here with Yorke. Or
Talk with Yorke, Love Gang, shout out. Elsy Wameyo, she's on, she's doing it.
Yeah, or you can just
here.
like... just ruin the world. I don't know. But yeah, so it's...
Just ruin the world with just terrible content. Just cringy videos
create
of like
content, but
you reviewing things or...
Yeah, no, but I think it's just... It's definitely just running the world at this point.
Yo,
but I think we just have to be super like...
It's crazy.
Yeah, like intelligent with it and not dumb.
Do you feel like... So how, as a creative... And maybe I'll just quickly intro.
Yeah.
Give you quick so people actually know who you are, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Elsy Wameyo... She's conquered Adelaide, and now she's set her eyes on the on the broader globe. She's
the rest of the world.
Beautiful, lovely voice.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're spreading some beautiful art out there, and I think you're making some really awesome moves as an artist and as a businesswoman and everything like that. And I see what you're doing out there. You know, you really care about, I think, your art from what I've seen. And and you're spreading the good word of the Lord out there as well for all the beautiful people who need to hear that stuff. And and you're a lovely person. We've had a good chat already today, and it was really, really enlightening and good to chat. So I'm so excited, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you
for coming and doing this. I had to chase her down for about 6 months,
sure.
Calling managers, doing this shit.
He's lying.
No, she's super chilled. She was keen. But thank you, honestly.
I am my manager.
You are your manager right now?
I am my everything. I run me. There's no one
so
that...
good. It's even better.
No, I mean, it's great because I definitely do work with people, and it's so good to like... Because, you know, like the word says, like we are one body, but every part of the body is very distinct and it has a very specific... you know, reason for being there. And without it, you know, the whole body, if you lose one thing, the whole body won't function. And so it's really good to just like interact with other people and work with other people who are better in areas than obviously I am. So I'm not going to say that I've made this all by myself. Not
Of course.
at all. Not at all.
Or you got your family and
Yeah,
everyone who
and
supported you.
Yeah, exactly. And even aside from the music industry, it's like my family is, after God, the first foundation. They have invested in Elsy Wameyo for a very long time and still continue to do so. Whew! If I mess up,
boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
Just like that, yeah. So it's a blessing to have people who are supporting me, but not for Elsy Wameyo, but just genuinely because of that love. So yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to just not do it by myself, but create and grow with my family and friends and other people around me.
Yeah, and I think you like the way you sing, and I know sometimes you write songs and it's just to yourself, but I definitely feel like it has a very community based feeling, and maybe that's like your religious background as well, and all those spiritual roots where maybe you've been around a lot of communities in that sense. And I just feel that in the music, it's togetherness and and just all feeling something together. And
you can't take on this world by yourself, But I think even aside from that, I've grown up in a family that's been very connected. I come from my immediate family, we're not very big. I've only got 2 brothers, but my mum has, I think it's 9 sisters. And so that side of the family is just humongous.
Crazy.
But it's
out of control.
Out
of control
let me
families
tell
love
you,
it.
but it's just the best thing. Like, oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
Good.
I sometimes there's moments that I'm like, man, I wish the world could just see a glimpse of this, Like I've told them let's start a reality TV show. You know what I mean? And it's just so amazing to be in a family that just is so connected and just love each other, because I know that it's very rare, and so that's a blessing. And I think that's where it just comes from. I've really just been raised from that togetherness, always being with fam. So I think that's just where it really comes from.
It's great, and it's such a good place to be inspired from, family, and especially as I've grown up, family has become so much more important to me. You take it for granted so much when you're younger, I think, and that's really normal, and it's a part of coming of age, and it's just immaturity and stuff. But especially now, as I'm living with a partner, and I'm actually looking at creating my own family, not just being suckling from the teat of what they've done. Now I'm actually trying to think about being a provider and stuff, and nothing drives me harder than thinking about the family that I'm gonna have down the line, and being prepared to give them what they need. That's what I draw strength from now, and it's
you're in a whole other chapter that I had not even reached.
Bruh. I started getting clucky, man, around 20, but I was so not anti-family. I had a lot of shit with my family. I was never anti-family, but I was more why would I want to have kids? This seems insane.
This is bad.
This seems crazy.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? No one can control me, and I wouldn't want to have a version. Imagine me having a version of myself to have to look after. I knew I was just out of my depths, but I think it's because I was just too young and stuff, obviously. Anyway.
Yeah. I have same scope. Even now there are moments that I'm I can't even take care of myself.
I still feel that now.
How am I going to take care of a whole other human? No, but I think it's just that journey with life, and you start to see the beauty of just having a family, we say we have kids. No, I think
I've got a dog.
That's something.
Dude, I feel bad because I always got to make comparisons between kids and dogs, and I'm they're oh yeah, so when you're raising your kid like this, and I'm it's sort of with my dog, how I do this, and I'm no, I can't keep comparing people's kids to my dog. I get that it's innocent from my behalf, but it just doesn't sound great coming out the mouth.
No, I think I hear you though. I think it's just you still have to feed the dog, clean it. I don't know.
Everything. It's a baby basically.
It's a baby. No, I get it.
It just does its business where it wants.
Yeah.
Who cleans it? Me.
Yeah.
But that's part of the deal.
You're a whole father.
I'm a father. He doesn't pay the bills. And that's why he has to obey the rules.
Oh, I don't want to scream. I really don't. No,
do you have pets?
I don't.
Gotta get a pet.
I'm enough. This body is enough. I can't.
That's good. Well done.
You know what I mean?
That's
there are times I can't even feed myself.
Oh, I should have done that.
I'm telling you.
No, I love my dog.
No, but I think I would. I'm sure if I had it, it's not that I'd forget to feed it or anything.
But might forget to feed it.
No, but I think I just love my space. I love just being able to love on other people's dogs and things. But I'll just I'll be fine.
I'll be Auntie Elsy. That's
I'll
nice.
be the auntie.
Because then you can always give it back, like when you've had enough or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can always be the friendly one.
Exactly.
You don't have to be the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
You can just be like, oh my God.
And if anything fails, it's not on you. You're not the parent.
Totally.
Dip.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful. So like with your maybe speak a little bit about like your spiritual beliefs, because I know you're quite empowered through your faith, and it seems like you're always happy to have a chat about that sort of stuff, which I love. Let's talk about
the Bible at? Let me pull out
Where's the Bible?
Bible.
Oh, you should have brought it, man. You should have brought it.
It's right there.
I need some enlightening for my journey forward.
No,
and maybe how you came, and maybe that taps into your family and sort of how that religious background runs through your family. And is your dad actually a pastor, or he was a pastor?
He used to be.
He used to be a pastor, right? My father. There you go. That's all you gotta do is
Yorke
listen to the music. All you gotta do is listen to the music.
Listening.
That's it.
Yo, no, I was actually thinking about this morning. I was reading. I had mentioned this to you before. I was reading through the Old Testament, but as I was reading it, I was thinking like, I so get how I guess non-believers would find it hard to believe, because there are things in the Word that are so skeptical. Like I even read it and I'm like, Jesus, this does not add up. Like this is not adding up right now.
That's natural though, right?
Yeah, and it's natural for sure. And I think it's just that faith. But it just made me think about my upbringing, because for me, I've never known anything other than being a Christian. And so I always wonder, like, if I didn't know, if I started from scratch.
Born somewhere else in a different place, different time.
Yeah, like how I guess it would be and stuff like that. And that's why I'm always so careful, or just very, I guess, merciful in a way with non-believers, because I totally, I mean, I don't get it, but I totally get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my upbringing, I've always, I guess, been Christian, or have always been around the church. And I was mentioning this to you as well. I think it was when I started, obviously I was very young, and you were kind of just there because, Jesus is this person that we're worshipping, and it's great.
Yeah.
But I think
we're doing arts and crafts. So we're like, painting. We're singing at the end of the year. We're doing the big thing.
We're painting the Red Sea
party. That's right.
No, yeah, it's just that whole.
It's fun though, isn't it? Like, what's going on? There's stuff happening.
Exactly.
Community vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like Sunday school. Who doesn't want to go to Sunday school?
Yeah.
So it was just a bunch of that. But as I've grown, and as I've my faith has, I guess, grown also, and I've become much closer to God, I now read the Word with a revelation, and it's a whole new book, because I'm not reading to just read. I'm reading because like I now understand, and I can actually comprehend and like see what's being said, and feel like really really experience what is being said, and that's a beautiful thing. Like with the Word, it's so living, and even if you read it like 5 times, God can speak to you in such different ways. And so I love that it's such a living Word. And it's something that my faith has carried me until right this moment as we speak. It's what's
from start to finish.
Alpha and Omega. Let me tell you. It's really
Preach
just
it. Preach it. It's in the blood. It's in the blood. Hey, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna turn this header off.
Oh no, you're okay.
Just because make a bit of a noise.
No, for sure. The way I couldn't even hear it.
But this thing, it will
pick it up.
Dude, trust me,
for sure.
It'll kill me.
No, for sure. No, but what was I saying? Oh, Alpha and Omega.
Alpha and Omega, preach it.
Yeah.
Pastor's daughter is out there carrying on.
No. Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to scream. No, but yeah, I think it's just my foundation. And the thing is, when you build a strong foundation, nothing can crumble that's above. And so because that foundation has like cemented, and it's just so strong, it can never break. And here I am still standing up on it,
I love it. And I think that's one thing I was thinking when I was talking to you in the car earlier. I was saying, like, different people have different things that they draw their strength from, and and that they have faith in, and it might just be their family, like it might be their guitar, like, and that's like the only thing. And but I think it's awesome when you've got something that's bigger than yourself, that you can be invested in. And I see that you're really connected, like with your strength.
Thank you.
And with just like everything that's outside of yourself, you're connected. And I think there's so much power and truth there, and it's awesome to see. And also I don't feel like you're judgmental. Like I feel like you're that new wave, which I see so much, and it's just so. It's like we're just kids out here. We're doing our own thing now.
Right.
We're not trying to judge, and we're just trying to live our best lives and guide when we can. And and I think that's so important, because, like you said, like you know, everyone's got their own journey.
Everyone's in a different, that's it. I think it's very, you really can't, because you just never know what's going on, and you don't know how someone thinks and the perspective and where they've come from. And even still, even if you were to judge, there's only so much you can do. So like, leave that part to God.
Right. It doesn't say in the Bible, I'm sure it says in there, about judgment, that judging other people is not God. Like, come on.
Not judge.
Basic rules, man.
Yeah.
So,
basic rules.
Basic rules,
principles.
man.
That's right. No, and in the word, I think there was something that I read this morning, and it was like something about leave room for God's wrath. And I was like, whew. But it's just like, you have to, right?
Leave a lot of space.
Leave a lot of space. Because that's not your place. Only He knows, you know.
Yeah.
But
we're so convinced out there that we've got the answers, and people, we're talking about it, people living in this dream, this narrative they've built, and it's like, yo, we don't know anything.
Right.
I always have this thought experiment that I play out where, like, cool, what if humans miraculously make it through? We don't destroy ourselves, you know, with nuclear warfare. We make it through for another million. We go to Mars. We go further. We're living, I'm talking even 100,000 years.
Right.
See what we've done in the last 500 years technologically, and how far we've come. Imagine 100,000 years of humanity going on this. Imagine the things that we would understand. We probably wouldn't even use math anymore. We'd have some advanced thing that's way beyond math that we don't even, do you know what I mean? Just so when I think about that, it just makes me reflect and go, don't be so assured about everything that you see around you. Do not be so assured. There's a lot of fake news.
Right.
Right? Like, not just on the TV.
Everything is a lie.
Right?
No. Take it with a grain of salt.
No, but everything is a lie in a sense, as far as it's an illusion that sometimes we create.
Right.
But at the same time, it's also the most real thing you'll ever experience.
Yeah.
And it's like,
right.
And just be in it. Let it be. Stop
be.
trying to control it so much by let it be.
Let it be. No, that's so true.
I don't know. That's just how I feel sometimes.
100%. Again, there's only so much you can control. So you just have to be here in this moment and just do your thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're doing that. I feel like you're aware of...
You are too. Yorke, you are
Thanks,
too.
man.
You are. You really are. You're... Oh, man. You're just... I think it's you have to find that bubble that you can thrive in, and just sit in there and just grow and just manifest and do all that greatness, but share it with the world. And I think that you do that also beautifully through music. So... Yeah. We're
trying out here, aren't we?
Whew,
couple of Adelaideans just trying our best. Hey, can you speak on that fire hat? There's a bit of story to that hat. There's a bit of story to that hat, right?
Can you see? Can you see me? Can we do a...
You came prepared.
No.
I got no hat, nothing.
I'm sorry.
I should have came with a dope hat. No, I'm glad that you've got the...
No,
You're the fashionista.
I had to bring a little bit of my culture, let me tell you.
Please.
No, I...
Speak on that too.
When I went back home before COVID happened, God carried us and made sure that the world was shut down as soon as we landed. So He spared us, thank you. But yeah, so we were back home in Kenya, and we were just getting some clothes made, and I saw this hat on the shelf. Yeah. And I just was like, that's my hat. And
that's my hat.
Yeah, and I didn't even think to pay for it. I kind of just took it and I was like, Mum, you do it. I'll just take it and you can just cover it. And she did, so bless her hands.
Oh, mums, how good are they?
Oh man, she's too good. Yeah, so I just saw it and I was like, this is just the one. You know, this is the one. And I hadn't actually ever worn it. It's always just...
Oh my God, that's so unprofessional. Sorry.
Is it your mum?
Put this on silent. No, it's just a mate.
No, you're okay.
I think he wants to catch up for a beer, but mate, I'm talking to Elsy Wameyo right now, buddy. Now's not the time.
No,
he's a good lad. He's a good lad. Sorry, beautiful story. So you were drawn in a divine, in a moment
I literally just
divinity.
Saw it. And the thing is, it's that place because there's just mass fabrics. And I just saw this hat and I was like, I just want that hat. I felt like it just held something. And so I just took it.
Magic, and it does though.
Does it?
Well,
I'm glad.
Well, it's a story of home.
Yeah.
That you keep with you.
It's a piece.
And it's a beautiful expression of Kenyan art, right?
Yeah. Oh yes, and I think that's what I loved. It wasn't just the one print. It's a lot of everything going around. And I also just I was loving on bucket hats, and right now I think it's just my feel.
Dude, I was gonna say the bucket hat is in the right time and place. A bucket hat goes off, and it's so.
It's just a vibe.
It's underestimated.
Yeah,
a good bucket hat, man.
I like it. I really like it. So yeah.
Aussies love it too. Aussies love a good bucket.
Good. Yeah, so that's how this came about. This is how, guys.
And so what were you doing in Kenya at the time?
We went to just like, it was a holiday really.
Yeah.
I guess just catch up with fam because most of my fam is still back there.
Mm-hmm.
So we hadn't seen them for, I don't know, 3-4 years. And so it was really just a catch up. But also I'm telling you, there's something so supernatural when your foot touches the ground of Kenya.
Sacred
and
land,
even
like.
just Africa. I'm sure just that whole continent, wherever you are, as soon as your foot touches that ground, like, oof. And I think it was just that like,
magic. It's magic, isn't it?
It's just magic.
Actual magic.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if this happens a lot in like the Aussie culture, but with African mums, I guess we have that thing where like, when it's like the street lights, you're supposed to get home when the street lights turn off. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I
in
had that
Aussie
when I was a
culture?
kid, yeah.
Okay, right. So we have that a lot. And I think it was almost like...
I love that life. Go live, kid.
Go live, but
boy.
As soon as those lights are off. But yeah, I think it was kind of like, not even Mother Nature. It was just like home is calling, and I just ran there. And as soon as you get there, you're like, okay, like now I'm good.
My soul is just
content. Such a good refresher. And there's just food. Oh my gosh, I won't lie to you. That's honestly the one thing that I just care about the most.
Just home cooked
food.
Kenyan food.
Real.
Or just African food in general.
Yeah, like how here there's a lot of like preservatives and stuff like that.
I'm trying to get on a health kick and like just everywhere you go.
Right.
Every shop, and I was saying this to Jenna the other day, and I was just in the shop and I was just like, everywhere you go, basically, the mainstream is just preservatives and sugar saturations and just like bad fats and all this, and I'm just like artificial flavors and just, and I'm just like, what, like. That's just our culture, though. That's not. That's our choice.
Yeah, like, exactly.
It could be a different culture that doesn't have that, right?
Yeah, and I think that's just what draws me back home as well. Because I'm just like, I know that I'm gonna eat, and I can eat as much as I want without like food, feeling bad.
Yeah,
it's powerful, man. It's powerful. But yeah, so that's what we were back home for, and it was just rejuvenating ourselves, really.
That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's such a. You should go.
I would absolutely love. I've never been out of Australia. I've never been.
What?
But I say that, and it's true. But I've also been to places in Australia that like most people will never get a chance to go.
Wow.
Because you need permits.
Where have you been?
Like Indigenous land. Like,
okay.
I've been out into the desert.
Oh my gosh.
Like of like northern. I'm talking like 9 hours north of Alice, or like 6 hours east of.
Deep.
Like 6 hours west of.
Say like. I thought you were about to be like, I've been like in waters, like literal, just like ocean waters.
Just ocean waters, dude.
That people just
diving, looking for treasure.
Exactly.
You right? No, but I've
No, but that's so cool.
I've had like obviously very different cultures and things like that, but the experience of being able to go out into Indigenous communities and work out there with music and things like that with the kids
just an honor.
Is something that almost baffles me that I was able to do. And I was able to spend a collective of about 3 months going out to different communities, living out like sleeping there for a week, sometimes sleeping in the school.
Wow.
When it's all finished, we sleep in one of the our team sleep at the school.
And it was all for music?
It was all for music.
Wow.
It was all about writing songs with these Indigenous kids.
Right.
And so they've got like 3 languages, a lot of them. And English isn't their first. Yeah. And so I'm trying to even just talk to them is a struggle, let alone write a song, get them language to write the song.
Language barrier.
Just songs about like health, or just like songs about like eating right, not bullying, basic school kid stuff. But I got opportunities through doing that. I was able to go out and just go out with some of the elders and like go and experience some of the crazy stuff. And just my grandfather actually grew up in a place called Arayonga, which is an Aboriginal community. So no, he raised his family out there. It's out in the Northern Territory. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
I need to learn like the proper. You know how there's like the Australian map, but I need to learn the Aboriginal.
The real original.
The OG
map.
I've seen it, the OG map. And I've seen it, and it's just, there's so much, and it, like, I totally
so
get it.
So many communities, man.
I totally get it.
There's like a community here, and then there's a community right next to it, and they speak a different language.
Completely different.
Different language, completely different culture.
Yeah.
And like the spiritual beliefs, was so curious, like magic that's out there, and the faiths and the music, it runs so deep, and they don't talk to white fellas about it usually, but I was able to connect with some of the people out there, and
that's gorgeous.
And I guess have their trust and just have some really amazing conversations and have go hunting goannas and eating it and just crazy stuff.
Wow.
I got a skin name, dude.
Oh, what is it?
Jungala.
Wow.
That's my skin name. That means something.
Wow.
When I was out there, I'd go to Darwin and I'd be talking to an Indigenous person and I'd say, yeah, I'm Jungler. They'd be like, oh, I'm Japajinga. Like, you're my cousin or whatever. Like, that's an instant, because you've been out somewhere that you understand something that most people never get to see.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I guess you have that, you bring that to the table, like Adelaide, these Western places. Ooh. With your cultural roots and
I think it's quite
different worlds, aren't they? That you've seen that people haven't.
Very, very different. I think it's such a privilege. I always say, even just coming from Kenya to here. Because
you were born
in Kenya.
In Kenya.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you came over?
7.
7.
Yes, yeah, so I was quite young.
But that's a lot of time.
Is it? Thank you, because
7 years, a lot can be impressed upon a young person by then.
That's so
it's
true.
in you.
Yeah,
it's
and
fully in you.
I thank God, because there's a lot of things that I'm glad they were instilled in me while I was there and not here. So for sure, it's a blessing to be able to I guess bring my culture here and just express that here and freely. So that's a blessing. But yeah, it's amazing just how different every not even country, but just like you were saying, there's so many
land, just another section of land,
estates and suburbs, just next door. It can be so different, and I think we have to really be open to that when traveling and going out into those different spaces, and just being super aware and not ignorant of
cultural understanding of certain things.
I have to really think anthropologically and just understand rather than judge.
Yeah, do not judge. Hey, he's got our back.
Do not judge. Yeah, for sure. But it's amazing how much you can learn, from just traveling and getting out of your space.
Just expanding your idea of what's out there and the sorts of lives that people can live.
Yeah.
It doesn't all conform to your little idea of this little narrow perfect world that we've got. It can be mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And I know of people who have gone out to places like, sacred, lands where they still are living the old ways and couldn't quite handle it.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle seeing, kids running around dirty faces and playing around, and they couldn't handle seeing people living a different lifestyle where maybe they didn't value the same things that they grew up valuing, which is material possessions and capitalism, money and fronting, all that shit.
Exactly.
And but what all I saw was the smiles.
Yeah.
That's what spoke to me.
The
joy, the sound of those children laugh, that laughter that stays with me, it's just the most joyful thing.
I sometimes I'll go back when I'm home in the village. I see the children who are as young as 8, 9, maybe even younger, who are taking care of just sheep and cows, and
or a little puppy that they're carrying around by its leg or something like that.
I love it.
It's the best.
Just do your thing, and they're so content. They're just so content, and they're so one with the nature, and they're so one with just their surroundings and the environment, and they don't need an alarm clock to wake them up every morning. They just wake up at exactly 6 o'clock to go and just feed the animals. It's just in them.
I set about 6 alarms to get up this morning.
Right. And see, you know what I mean? And it's are we the ones that are playing ourselves? You know what I mean? They don't even... I think we're the ones that I feel like we're playing ourselves.
I just think that we're playing a game by doing this whole capitalist world that we're in. Where we're playing a game. It's like Monopoly. You know what I mean? We're playing a game. I don't know how to
play. I need to learn. I actually don't know how to play Monopoly.
You gotta learn.
I learned how to play chess.
Yeah, chess. That's good.
Last week, and I won my first game.
Well done.
I don't know if the person let me win though. I started thinking about it. I don't think they did.
Do you say it's one of your first games though?
Yeah, I was learning as we were playing.
Could be beginner's luck because sometimes that pulls through.
Yeah.
And you get some wins right at the start.
Okay. Now that I think about it, I do think I just won. But no, it's good. I know how to play chess. So
take that win. Take that win.
Yes.
Unless they come out and say, I'll let you win. Take that win.
Yeah.
You need every win we can get in this life. Hey, speaking of cultures and celebrating cultures and everything like that, you're going to be performing, and we were talking about this with Jenna.
Yeah.
And what's the event that you're playing at, and when's it going to be?
I think it's with the African Gala. I'm not sure if that's what the title of the event is.
Of the whole event, okay.
Yeah,
but you're playing at the African Gala section.
And I'm really, it's all brand new to me as well, as I was saying. But I mean, immediately you can tell that it's all just culture infused, and it's just getting
lots of
people
bucket
together.
hats.
Lots of bucket hats, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I was just like, yeah, I want to be a part of that.
Sure.
You know, like, get me in. I don't even know what's going on, but put me on that list. So yeah, I'm really excited to, one, just like get out and be on stage again, but two, just be with my people and just share music and just, you know, be live. And yeah, I'm really just excited to see what happens, because again, like, I'm super new to it all, and I haven't seen much of what they've done. I think they're actually quite a new. There might be. I
think it's like the first one. Is it the first one? I think it is.
I mean, I honestly don't know, but
Jenna's them saying, and I think, at least for who she's doing her stuff with, they said this is the first event.
Like thing,
because they're testing it out almost.
Exactly, so. And to be a part of that is just, thank you guys. It's an honor. Thank you.
It's an honor, but you've earned it as well. You know what I mean? And like, you're so like you speak so well of these things, and
thank you.
I think you're a great face for like your culture in Kenya, and you know, and just you know, and religion. You know what I mean? You walking the right path with everything, and you're making it good.
I hope I am. Yeah, I really hope I am. This journey's been amazing. Yeah. You know,
it's crazy.
You just learn with every single step. So yeah, it's been really, really good. Yeah, it's just taking that step of faith every day, and just diving headfirst, no matter what it is. And it doesn't. Even if you don't even know.
Even if you don't know, like, just do stuff.
Do it. Yeah.
Because
do it.
Because it's not always about you. Like, it's sometimes about the interactions of these other many, you know, conscious beings with their own unique stories that are gonna like affect your narrative, you know.
Exactly.
So even just walking out the front door, sometimes
is enough.
Some postman will go past and he'll say something, he'll say a funny joke to you that makes you smile, that makes you think about something different way. And do you know what I mean? But like,
you're
if
like,
you never
done,
walked out,
goes back inside.
Done, cheers, bro. That's
done.
my quota.
That's all I needed.
But like,
that's all the world was having of me.
Like, some of the most awesome opportunities that I've had have been from me just literally putting myself right out there in the public.
Exactly.
Like, I got a gig where I'm playing at the hospital, and I'm just like, it's an amazing gig, and I don't.
You're taking on waters that are just.
I'm taking on waters.
Wow.
But like, this thing was incredible how it came about, because I wasn't really searching for it. I was busking out the front of Carlton Park, and I was chatting to this lady, and she had her son, and we were just having a good old yarn. And I'm always talking to people at the front busking.
I love it.
Always trying to get into the local community a bit, and I was like, yeah, I write a bit of music, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I do this stuff at the hospital. I was like, yeah, cool. She drives off. Apparently, she's told me her son was like, Mum, that guy, like, we got to go back.
Aww.
And she's come back. And she's offered me to come and actually come to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And go into these separate, like, wards and play for these people. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's...
That's at Ra?
It's Flinders Medical.
Oh, right? That's, like, next to the uni?
I think so.
Like,
it's decent size, and
it's pretty.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got a lot of woods.
Yeah.
And that just came about because I literally was at the front of like a public place where people are walking around, just being, playing music, but just doing it somewhere where like I can connect with people.
Accessible. That's so true.
I gained so much from doing it, and it like, it's almost emotional, and it's so humbling, because you're like, oh my God, like, this is such a. I'm so grateful, you know, what an amazing opportunity to be able to do this. Not many people get to do this. Exactly. And it just happened because I was out there, putting myself out there.
Got out of bed and
walked out the door.
Just like that.
People are so valuable.
Yeah.
People are so valuable, and they can be your biggest resource.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you come with no resources, and a lot of people struggle with that. They don't know where to start. They don't know the people. They don't have the money. But you've got people.
There are so many things out there, but that's so true. I think we have to also remember, like, this life is not just about us, and we have to remember that, like, a lot of the times, you know, you might wake up for a day that is full of blessings, but it's blessings for other people through you. So, like, sometimes when we choose not to get out of bed, or, like, you know, go do whatever it is that we're supposed to do, we're blocking blessings for other people.
For others,
if you chose not to leave your bed that day, you know, that child or those people in those hospitals never would have got to experience you. So it's like, we have to, again, not be, I guess, ignorant, and know that it's like, we're all part of the puzzle piece, and we really play a part in all of it.
And it's all so interconnected.
Yeah.
And I think it's so good when it becomes not so much about what can I get, and I think when you're young, that's so natural because that's like what you need is to receive. Like, you know, you're a kid, you don't know how to feed yourself. Like, you need to be given, and just built up. But then you get to a point where things start to change. You start to come into your own power. You start to have a bit more influence on the things that are going on in the environments around you. People start to listen to what you're saying all of a sudden. You become a role model, you know what I mean? Like what you're doing. And then it's just about, okay, now I need to start. I think the next step is now I need to start thinking about giving. And maybe that's just the natural process of like procreation, because the natural step, you know, for so long was to procreate and create more people. And so maybe we need to make that switch eventually of like giving, because we're going to have kids eventually. And we need to be ready to get rid of your life. Don't worry about your dreams, brother. Don't worry about your dreams. That kid just shit himself.
Clean it up.
You're not sending your emails tonight, buddy. You're going to clean up on aisle 3.
Admin to the side.
Right?
Oh
Dadmin, put it away.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And that step is so beautiful though, because it's, again, like as you're giving, I think a lot of people forget that when you give, like that's a blessing, because you're going to receive that.
So good for you. It's always selfish.
Exactly.
It's always selfish in a way because you feel so good about it.
We forget about that cycle of, because I feel like we think like as soon as we've given, it's like that's it, we've lost, you know, and someone else has gained. But like, it doesn't end there.
Defensiveness and just
and we try to hold back, but no, it doesn't end there. It's that cycle, and it comes around. So I think we just have to like. Definitely, I think we have to understand that concept, like, and not just give to give. Or,
like,
you know
and then people, they trick themselves because, you know, they play themselves because they go, cool, well, the answer is giving, so I'm going to give. But then they crack the shits 2 months down the line when they haven't gotten from the giving. Right. And it's like, no, you missed it.
Exactly.
You missed the trick there.
Right.
Like, the point isn't to give so you get back. The point is to just find that peace with actually find that space where you feel really good about the fact that you've given, because... like you want to live in some level of outside of your selfish world, like where like it feels, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but
no, I hear you.
It's hard to explain that, but you get to a point where the win is in the giving. You know, it's not about like, cool, I've given so much free stuff out now. Surely I get my free car or something like that.
Surely someone's gonna come knocking on my door with $1 million. No,
it's like no, you get to sit there and look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, I'm proud of that person.
Well done. Yeah, that's it.
That's the win.
That's it.
Hey, let's bring it back to music, because we're having some great chats, but I also want to keep it like strictly business a bit as far as the music stuff.
Business. Let's get it.
You got some like, what's your process as far as putting things out on Spotify? You got 4 tracks. It looks like to me like you're being careful with what you put out. You're not just throwing anything out. And
I love that.
Because with only putting out 4 tracks, you've been able to, and obviously you got so much more to the Elsy Wameyo thing than just the music. There's so much more that's building that.
Right.
But also the music is a really powerful way that you're connecting with people. And so what's your strategy there? And I'm just asking as a musician who's trying to grow too. So I'm actually genuinely curious as another you know, peer in the space. What's your strategy there? Have you got some? Are you sitting on a lot of music? Have you got some stuff in the chambers like you've been writing?
In the chambers.
No,
yeah. I mean, right now I am just working on my debut EP. So that's the first major project that I want to release.
Is that gonna have Pastor and Outcast on it? Because you got the album art lines up with those. They're a bit more the same.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Pastor and Outcast were you know, I guess singles from the EP, and it's kind of just it's almost like a blueprint of a bit of who I am. You know, I just wanted to. I'm sure when people listen to it, you know, you would usually listen to an album and it would kind of make sense from like
top to bottom.
But this
it can, but
it can. Sometimes it doesn't. You're right. Sometimes it doesn't. And I think for sure this EP will definitely be a bit of like, you know, this is this part of Elsy, and then this is another, and it's a bunch of just like very personal stuff, but then very, you know, that whole community side and speaking for the people.
People can relate to some of the ideas in there, but the core of the ideas are coming from like you and your story.
It's just me and my story and my journey, and so I really just wanted to tap into all the different areas and create from all those different areas. So that's what I'm doing right now.
That's exciting.
But
it's really exciting. What a great place to be in. Like the first EP, you're still finding your sound. Yeah. Like from listening to what you've got online, I can definitely see there's been a shift from intuition to like the last 2 tracks you've dropped.
Yeah.
I can see there's been even like finding yourself sonically with the production.
Yeah.
I feel like just the sounds that, is it Mario?
Yes, I work with Mario.
The sounds, I think he's developed your sound even further with his production, and I think your voice has grown as well. It's like it's a next step for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think every day there's like a next step, you know what I mean? And every time we get into the studio, it's just another thing and another thing, and I feel like that's why it had taken, because this EP was supposed to come out like last year. Yeah. And it was just, I'm telling you, and it was hard because, I mean, not hard, it was fun because every time we'd come in and we'd think we were like, this is the one, but then would come in again.
Of course, you always think that.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, mental has just like shifted. Spiritually, we're not in the same place, and everything just shifts, and we're like, nah, like erase that and start again, which is like bittersweet. But yeah, I've definitely learnt like, okay, let's just like stick with here because this is the season now, no matter what else like changes. But it's been good to stick with that. But as things are changing right now, I'm still writing other stuff. So there's a bunch more that I'm like,
do you keep writing stuff and you're like, oh, I want to put this in the EP now? Because it's better? Like, because you know how writers, we like to do that. We like to write stuff and think it's the best thing we've ever written.
like
every song you write, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever written.
Right, scratch everything else. No, I mean, I haven't necessarily said like, you know, like shift it into the EP because again I had to.
You got to get it out, don't you?
Yeah,
because that goes on forever.
Very obedient. Otherwise, I won't even get to hear my music.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think with the other things that I'm writing currently they're very specific, and it's more of like the whole EP will kind of make sense and it's in the same world. But yeah, I think it's really cool though to just draw from ideas from both the EP that I'm working on now, but stuff that I'm, I guess, working on behind the scenes. But yeah, I guess there's not really a process of like, oh, we'll release this EP and then wait another year and then release another. I think it all just happens with the season, and I go with the flow. And side note, I was talking to Jimbler, you know Jimbler, amazing guy.
Yeah, man, he's got a voice, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got a powerful voice. His being is just enough. Like, oh, he's just I love
amazing. How in your face he is with like with what he's doing, because it's
hardcore.
There's so much passion behind what he
So
says, and it's just like he's like, you will take note of some of these things. Exactly. And you will listen because it's going to resonate. Some of it. Yeah. There's got to be bits in there from where he's coming from and the messages people need to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. But he does it in such a way that like you're saying, you can't not hear it. Like you can't just press like next. But yeah, no, he's an amazing dude. But we were just chatting about, like, he asked me like what star sign I was, and I told him Pisces. And he was just, I think we were just talking about how I'm so like, I just go with the flow, and I'm not very like I don't use like a method to be like, you know, this has to go here. I mean, sometimes practically you have to, but I guess in life most of the times I'm just
go with the flow. Like a fish, it's in the stream, like following the stream.
Exactly. So he was like, what star sign are you? I was like, I'm a Pisces.
He's like,
and
no way.
He was like, you're a water sign. And it made sense. And he gave me that analogy of like, water, even if there was a rock in front of it, it's just
always gonna go, it's always gonna flow.
And I kid you not, revelation, I just stood there and I was like, whoa. Like I was like, this man knows more about my life than, you know what I mean? I feel like he just
sees into your soul and just
no, but it was such a magical moment, and from that I just I learnt more about how I am and the way I think, because I've always in a way struggled with a lot of people coming to me and saying like, how do you just go with the flow? How do you not stress about stuff? And for me,
bro, how much time you got? But like, you always have to explain your whole life and all the hurdles you've overcome and the things that you're trying to do and the reasons for it, for people to get why you're just like that. It's not, they just want some quick answer. It's give me the, you know, 1-800, dial this number and it'll be at my door tomorrow. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Like if you want to, you know, if you want to be ripped, you got to go for a run every day. Like there's no pill that you can take, man.
It's a journey.
Like, but people think it's, oh, that's just you, that's how you are. And it's like, yes, but I've also had to like tap into it and get closer with it and make it more and more of a power.
Exactly. And I think I was definitely that person where it was in me, and I think perspective plays a big part in everything.
And that's gratitude though, isn't it? Like for that whole thing. It's like, but you are grateful.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more powerful. You're actually grateful.
I thank the Lord that I'm the way that I am, you know? If I wasn't, I mean, this wouldn't be a thing.
That's it.
But but it really, I guess, opened my eyes to be even more grateful, just that I can simply just go with the flow, because a lot of people can't. But like you're saying, it does take that, like, you have to really like train that, and I didn't just sit here and just go with the flow, like,
bro, there's a reason why you go with the flow. Like, life isn't that simple.
It's not,
like, you know, you don't,
really
people
not.
aren't just born with the answers, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think you have to really just control it,
Yeah.
and like,
but
I hate to say it, but just go with the flow.
but but like, we get this as musicians sometimes, and as singers, I wish I had that natural talent or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, dude, do you want to cringe? Look at my YouTube like covers from like when I was 15, dude. You'll cringe, I guarantee it.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Do you think anyone is just born like on pitch?
You're not born with
Anyone's just
anything.
born and they can just sing on pitch?
No.
And
you have to
even
train
if it was
that.
the fact that when you were a little kid, you were around it all the time and that helped you, it's like, there's a story there, you know what I mean? There's a story
Yeah.
behind that. It didn't just happen
Happen.
like that, you know?
You
You
have
were
to
around it
train
all
that.
the time, regardless of it, whether you were a kid so you could control where you were or not. You were listening,
In
you're
there.
observing.
Subconscious, and it's
taking
sat
it
there.
on, you know?
Yeah, that's it. And it's, man, I think, like, I was even just saying to my mum and auntie a few like weeks ago, because my mum is someone that doesn't, I guess she isn't very like put me in front of the stage and let me speak to everyone. She's very just
Opposite of you then, in that way.
very opposite. But she teaches so beautifully by her actions. So she's that mum that, like, if you're not watching, you miss out, and that's your fault. So yeah, and for me, I love to be like, no, like, let's do this together, and I'll teach you and I'll speak to you. But anyway, what I was saying to them was, because she has that desire to be able to do that, and I was telling her, for me, I remember even with
So
music,
cool.
right? And I love her for it. With music, I didn't just jump on stage and start singing, because when I remember I was giving her the example, show and tell is like a thing here.
Yeah.
And so in year 2, I remember I really wanted to do it. Like, I really wanted to just bring something and be like, hey guys, I have this and stuff. But I never did it because I was always so scared. But get you, like, at home, I would grab whatever it was and I would practice. And I know
Wow.
it sounds right. Let
cool.
me tell you. And I literally would have, like, I remember there was one time I had I think it was a movie that we had at home.
Yeah.
So I would hold it like this, and I would just be like in a corner, and I would literally be like, hey guys, you know, this is my movie. I watch it with my brothers, and I used to practice.
Oh my god, dude.
Every day.
Dude,
but
that is adorable, man. I
never...
think kids love doing that stuff, dude. Like, when I was a kid, I used to do shows for my parents. Like, we just get like these fake little matches. It'll be a rocket ship, and we'd be like, see, we're flying to Mars, and like all this crazy shit.
It's through things like that that you practice, and it kind of becomes easier.
Hours.
You know
it comes down to hours.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
You put the hours in.
That work. Yeah.
Put the hours in.
Work in. And it comes. So, like, I was just encouraging them, and anyone, whoever's listening, you have to really just have that desire of whatever it is that you want to become great at, or whatever it is that you want to do, and just, you know, put your mind to it and just work in there. Even when you're falling, just pick yourself up, keep going. It will get easier, you know. It's all just a process. Trust the process.
Trust the process. And so, have you ever experienced? Now I'm sort of curious about the whole go with the flow thing.
Yeah.
Because I sort of go with the flow as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like that comes from me, like seeing or experiencing things that are the sort of opposite. That push me to do that.
We are the same.
So have you experienced like people not going with the flow,
and, you
were able to take a step back and you're like, oh, that ain't it.
Yes, no, that's me.
Right.
One big thing for me is, I always say, is love. And I
love gang, shout out.
Love gang, hashtag.
They're out there.
I learned, I mean, I don't 100% understand love now, but from what I know now, I learnt from seeing what it wasn't.
Yeah.
No one taught me what it was, and I just learnt from just seeing what it wasn't, and that's how I picked it up.
Such a powerful teacher.
I'm telling you. And I think a lot of this stuff is that, and like I was saying, perspective is a whole, it's I think it makes or breaks a person, but it's hard because we don't understand how to, because you can't just tell someone, think this way, you know what I mean?
I try. It doesn't work. I try. I try. If you could just think about it this way, like almost try.
Turn your head and just
turn your head 3 degrees. Get the
Just
PlayStation controller, press the right combination of buttons, and you're good.
It will work.
But it's not that simple.
It's not that simple, and again, it just goes back to that everyone's in their own journey. But for me, a lot of the things I want to say is I've learned because I've seen what it isn't, and I love learning that way though, because you learn both ends. You learn the bad and the good rather than just, hey, like this is what it is, learn that, don't worry about the bad, because now I know when it comes and I know when to dodge it.
You can
I
avoid
know
it.
you can avoid it, and I think that's what a lot of people miss out on, because
Mm-hmm.
when they don't know how to like identify what's bad or what's good, they can sit in bad for so long and it just becomes so like such a norm, and it's just they become content.
You start to like yearn for it and almost long for that familiar feeling, because it's so comfortable and so familiar.
Exactly.
And it's it's like,
don't know any
it's
better.
like, it's like a little blanket, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something you've just always had, it's always been there.
Exactly.
And you start to like really identify with it.
You really have to just discernment, man. Just understand and know. See open your eyes.
Open your eyes, dude.
Open your spiritual eyes.
I sometimes like, I don't stress or worry about it too much, but I definitely think about like having kids down the line and how part of the reason for my mentality and how I'm able to navigate things in the way that I do it is because of like traumatic experiences and seeing like traveling and seeing other ways of living and just like you said, opening my eyes and absorbing a lot of different things and seeing a lot of how it's done wrong, like what you're saying. And so then I think if I'm having kids down the line and I've done well for myself, how am I going to instill those same lessons? But I think it's definitely doable. Like I've always loved the idea of like Christmas. Like instead of this idea where you just get and receive things for no real reason, but you've been a good kid throughout the year, so you get this. Like, should you be given like 10 gifts because you've been a good kid all year, or should you just feel good about being a good kid because you're making your parents' life easier and you're on your journey and it's a good thing anyway? Like I like the idea of taking your kids to like a soup kitchen or something like that.
Right.
And on Christmas, when all their friends are getting heaps of gifts and getting doted on, really just in a materialistic way, they're going out and seeing people with nothing. And they're becoming part of that community and stuff. And it takes on a different meaning.
Wow. Yeah.
Because like you can do that. You can go out and go to a soup kitchen. You can go out and talk to a homeless person. You can go out and...
Yeah, I think, I mean, again, because I'm not a mother yet, but I think, things like those things will just be instilled naturally, and I think that's why they say, I don't think they say this. I say this.
I say this.
No, if a child like when, those people that are very protective and, they don't want their child to go out to a certain place or do a certain thing because
watch a certain show.
So I think there's some things where it's like, just leave that because that's so natural, and I think it's like you can only pray that they learn from it. So like let them fall, because if they don't fall, they're never gonna know how it feels to fall. And I don't know. Yeah,
no,
it's
totally.
Just,
it's like when a kid, and I see this all the time. It's like
feel the pain.
Let it feel the pain.
Let them feel the pain.
I'm a bit like blunt and brutal, but also like I feel a really loving like place I come from.
Yeah.
So
for sure, me too.
So like when a kid falls over, or like when they drop their lollipop. Let's drop lollipops, a better example. They drop their lollipop and they start bursting out in tears. Yeah. I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at them to make them feel worse, but I'm almost like trying to show them that it's okay to laugh because it's just a lollipop.
It's just a lollipop.
If they actually hurt themselves, that's different, get them patched up. But if they drop an ice cream and they're crying about it, like I don't want to cry if I drop an ice cream. It's such an insignificant thing. Right. So, and if you learn to like laugh along, it's okay. So you're better. Kids instantly go, it's fine.
It's cool.
But if they fall over, they look at you for a second and you go, oh my God. Then they go, oh shit, this is bad.
Kids, I cannot. That reminds me of my little cousin.
Yeah?
She's the best. She does that. If you freak out, she'll cry. But if you're just like...
they don't care.
There's this one video, I was just recording her. She was sitting on her mum's lap. She's crying. But we were talking about someone's birthday.
Yeah.
And we're like, happy birthday. And she's crying. And she's like, happy birthday. And she just all of a sudden just stops.
That's so good though.
It's the best thing. Oh,
she's got the joy, and she's got
clown.
having the ability to come out of like a sad moment like that.
Just like that.
That's really a good sign.
That's power.
That's power.
That's power.
Look out.
Whew, man.
Cousin on the rise.
Oh, gotta watch her. Gotta watch her now. Yeah, there's something special about her for sure. No, it's man. It's this journey, man. But I love moments like that though, But yeah, just let your kids fall. Like, I think that's the moral of the story. Let your kids fall.
We're talking about ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let ourselves fall.
We
got no problem with taking an L.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, cop those L's.
Get them in.
Cop those L's.
Get as many L's in as you can.
Exactly. I think that's, for me, that's honestly my motto. Just let me fail as much as I can, Because you're gonna have to sometime at one point, so just get rid of them fast.
Get it done now.
Get it done.
While you got no responsibilities, really.
Oof.
That's what I love, and that's why I like to talk about kids, because I'm at that age where I'm thinking about it, but it's still so far down the line for me. I'm trying to be smart and do it like later. So like I'm still in a position now where I don't have to like, you know, feed a kid or, you know, send him to school and that. So I can fuck up as much as I want right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's just me and Jen, and we're just doing our thing. We're on our grind. And if we fuck up, it doesn't matter. It's just us. And we both get it. So it's like we're on this great level.
Yeah.
How long have we been going for so far? Do you even know?
Oh, no, I don't know.
1:23.
I don't know when we started.
I think we probably started. We've probably got about an hour. But I want to start to maybe wrap it up and stuff, because like, I want you to enjoy your Saturday as well.
You're
It's
okay.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I guess I want to maybe like finish off by like, I think we've talked about lots of wicked stuff.
Just life.
So much. This is what I wanted.
Life.
I wanted to give you a platform to like, and you had so many interesting things to speak on.
Yeah.
And I think you've been able to get some cool stuff out for the people. Hopefully you inspire a few people out there, I know.
Amen.
But I guess I want to ask, moving forward, Elsy Wameyo, you've got an EP dropping. You're still working on it.
Yeah.
With the corona, let's not put any dates out, but it's going to be next year.
No, it has to be this year.
It has to be this year.
If it doesn't come out this year, I quit. No, I'm not quitting. I'm joking. No, but
Shit, that'll be the header. I'll get so many views. Elsy Wameyo quits music.
I'm quitting, guys.
Clickbait, bro. Fake news.
No. No.
This year. That's exciting then.
Yeah, no.
You've got a month so by December it's done.
I really want it out by November.
Great. So everything's mixed and mastered. I love this as a musical grind. Of course it's not.
No,
it's gonna be all last second. It's gonna drop. It's all gonna happen right in the moment. I love it.
You know, when God is in control, I don't have to worry about anything.
Exactly, just let it
I just hand
happen.
it to Him, and I'm like, you do your thing. No, I mean, I'm really just trusting this process. No, but I know that it will come to pass. I really do know that it will come to pass. And yeah, we're not very far off. I'm excited. We'll be fine. I'm excited.
And look, at the end of the day, like, you're doing it independently and stuff. Like, whenever you drop it, it's going to be received well. People in Adelaide fucking love you so much. And like, I know that from being in Adelaide. Like, I don't know what, but I can only take a guess that people from outside Adelaide are really starting to look at what you're doing too, because you're putting out really good quality. And do you get that thing is where, I don't know, I feel like sometimes when you get more artistic and you start narrowing in on your audience a little bit more, with like maybe you get better as an artist and you start getting better at attracting people who are really going to resonate with you.
I mean, do you know what? I feel like I haven't reached that point yet, because I don't.
But this EP is going to be the start of that, I think.
Maybe. I mean, I honestly, I don't even think, because I'm still at that point where I'm genuine. Like, you know when we say like we're just making music to make music?
Yeah.
I'm there. Like,
totally.
I get, obviously, as an artist, there's the byproducts of there are people that are going to listen, they're going to be fans, there's that. But I'm not like, where are my fans at? I mean, at a point, I'm sure I'm going to have to. Yeah.
But I think it happens naturally. Because like, I think more I'm trying to get at is like, as you develop as an artist and you give more and more of yourself to your art, I just think like the byproduct of that is people act like, even me, like, you know, listening to like your older stuff, I was like, it's great, but it still sounds very much like Elsy's like, you know, at the start of a journey.
For sure.
And now I'm like hearing what you're putting out now, and that's, I've said it to you multiple times already, like Pastor and Outcast for me, like were like honestly so much better than the last stuff. Your last stuff was great, but this stuff now, as an artist at least, and as a songwriter, listening to what you're saying, it connected on a deeper level.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way you're delivering and all that stuff is getting better. So I think like,
Thank you.
I just think this is, you're going to be dragging in more people who appreciate it. Instead of just making a hit that gets heaps of views. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that.
As long as one soul is inspired, I'm good.
I just did a collab with Kid Death, who's this underground dude.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit how many plays he's got.
Yeah.
What I care about is what's actually being said and like the music, and I think you're getting deeper and deeper into that, which I think is a winning formula all the time.
Do you know what? I just think about it because, like, how interesting is it that Intuition, Outcast, and Pastor were all written in like a span of like 1 week together. So it like you know what I mean?
That's interesting.
That's what I'm thinking about right now. So yeah, but I mean, I totally get like they sound very different, but I think it's that thing where within ourselves, whatever it is, that peak of our amazingness and our like ultimate best is already here. It's just dormant. And I think what it is, it's like as I was writing the songs, I just tapped into that peak. Yeah. So it's not that you know, I don't have it. And yeah, it just reminds me that it's there. It's just like searching in the right places and honing in into the right areas.
And working with the right people. Like,
working with the right people.
Because I really think a big thing from those 2 tracks is like the production has gone up.
For
I think the production's gone up on past it, and it's more becoming like, okay, you're finding a sound that's really like
exactly.
your sound.
Yeah, I think for sure. It's just, I think it's definitely honing in on those areas that you're like, okay, like this is that point that we want to speak on. But yeah, no, I totally get it. Like I know that there's definitely, I think it's gonna, I guess, wash out those who were just listening to listen, or and
wash them out, dude. Like I'm a big fan. Like honestly, drain the swamp or whatever they want to say. Like I feel like that's true because I want a fan base. For me anyway, I want a fan base. Like I just realized that that's a part of it. So I'm not like I want a fan base. Like that's my goal. Like I just realized that's a part of it, and that we're one big ecosystem and stuff. We work together. So but I also want a fan base that, you know, they're invested in me, and like
it's not just to listen to
online presence and all that, and when shit goes down, they've got my back. Like they actually go, I actually know this guy. He's been honest with us. Cool. You know, he's been there for us. And but like you got the people with 1 million followers, and some drama comes out, and they go fuck you. Like they don't. There's no loyalty. I'd rather have the whole like 1,000 loyal fan base. Like even on a business level, I'd like this idea of you have 1,000 loyal actual fans who go to your shows. They buy a shirt. They'll buy a vinyl or whatever.
Right.
Maybe they spend $100 each, and that's a ticket to a show, and maybe a shirt or a bit of merch when they come to your show. Yeah. That's not that much over a year. $100, right? That's a couple of shows, and then 1,000 people who do that. That's $100,000. That's a business. That now feeds your next album or your next project and your creative stuff. Yeah. Or you could have 1 million people who like only want to spend $5 and they don't really care. I'd rather see the same faces when I go to that show. You came from my Adelaide show and now you're at my Brisbane show and I saw you at the front row. Cool. Like those types of fans.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
And you're so on that though. I think you're so on that because the music you're making is, you're not making like, let's make some pop music that just blows up. You're not doing that. I don't think you've ever really done that.
No.
You've always been on another level, and I think the sort of music that you're making is the stuff that it just feels real. It feels real. It feels artistic. You're trying to be an artist, and I think that is so fucking valuable because a lot of people are trying to do just get those views or get those listens.
Yeah.
And you're actually really speaking from the heart, and I think that's
Thank you.
So powerful, man.
Gotta be raw, you know. You're the only one.
Vulnerable.
Of like your, you really have to like just sometimes let loose, I guess, and just allow it to just come out.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's only one of you, and there's no one that could ever do you as great as you do you. So why would you want to do someone else?
To tell that story.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, speak on that, and just share to the world what you have, because only you can. So I think that's what I'm trying to do.
Dude, honestly, I think that's like the best way to finish this off. That was so lovely.
And see,
right? But do you want to just tell everyone, you know, like where they can find you and what you've got coming out, obviously?
I mean, right now, I'm not even hiding. I tell people that I'm hiding like I'm hiding. I really am not hiding. No, but my music.
You're out there.
I'm out here. No, you guys, thank you so much for listening. My music is on all platforms: iTunes, Apple Music, you name it, Google Play, whatever you have, I'm sure it's there. I'm currently working on my EP, and hopefully it will be out. It will be out at the end of this year, by November.
Manifest that shit.
Manifest it, Jesus. You hear it? It will be out. But yeah, currently we're just trying to, you know, open this world back up, and I'm really trying to release some more content for you guys and just like be here and just like live life. So yeah, and that's why I'm here. I love just like doing stuff like this. I feel like this is really making me feel more alive and, you know, a new normal, you know, from COVID. So yeah, I'm really blessed to have come and just like be here with you in your space. And thank you for allowing me to be here and share my story and speak a little bit about myself and my life and give my 2 cents on life, you know. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So blessed to have you, and everyone go give you a follow on Instagram. YouTube, do you have YouTube?
Think that's a thing, yes.
Because you dropped the Outcast clip.
Yes.
Just quickly, the voices at the start of Outcast.
My mum.
I was getting a bit emotional just hearing that. I'm serious. Listening to it at the start, there was something about it. I don't know what it was. Maybe the story behind it was speaking to me before even knowing what the story was. Beautiful though.
Yeah, You know, I feel like we start this journey, we're gonna be here for another 2 hours.
No.
No, but I mean, no, it was super like I've always wanted my mum to just be a part of my music. She's not in any way like musically talented, but I know she loves.
But she can
music.
create this.
But how, right?
So she must have something up her sleeve.
She probably does. No, but yeah, I just went to her and I really wanted her to be a part of that song. And I know she holds so much power and she inspires me every single day. So I just wanted her to inspire the world, because why keep her to myself? That'd be selfish.
Amazing.
So yeah, I got her to speak on there, and my auntie actually tagged on and she also spoke on there, and it was honestly just words of wisdom. It was just words of wisdom and encouragement. And yeah, I love that they're words that, you know, for me, because, you know, it was simply just on a phone and I was like, speak. And at that moment, I remember just experiencing that it didn't feel like we're just recording for a song. It was like they were really speaking to me. But I love that people can, you know, still hear that, and even not
Big
knowing
time.
the language, like feel something. And
Totally
that's all that
felt it.
matters to me.
Totally
So
felt it.
I'm glad that, you know, they spoke to you and inspired
Absolutely.
you in whichever way.
I really felt
Bless
it.
them.
Guys, go check out the clip as well on YouTube.
Yeah.
Give her a subscribe.
Try to stay
Follow her
forward.
social media. She's going to be making TikToks probably soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
She could do anything.
We're getting-
It's Elsy Wameyo, guys.
Yes,
She's
come on
the rise. Don't sleep.
Oh, don't sleep. Wake up now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Superstar. Woo! Love gang. We love yous.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Conditioned to feel like a lost man, dumb and depraved. Funny, he's running to money. Yes, funny, you've already won him.